Hello everyone, this is part 22 of What If Naruto Had Two Bloodlines, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe. Neji, the Hyuga main family, has a special jutsu that has been passed down. It's a curse seal jutsu. The curse of the mark represents a bird in a cage. It's the symbol of being tied down to an inescapable destiny. Neji removed his headband and showed Naruto that he was a recipient of said curse seal. He then proceeded to tell Naruto his story. Neji, one day when I was 4, I had this horrible seal placed on my forehead. That very same day, a grand ceremony was taking place in the Leaf Village. A shinobi leader from the Cloud Country, which had been warring with the Leaf for many years, had arrived to sign an alliance treaty, but at this ceremony which everyone attended, there was one clan missing, the Hyuga clan. The reason for this was that it was an important day to us, the day that the Hyuga heir turned 3, Lady Hinata's 3rd birthday, looks up at the onlooking Hyugas and scowls. Naruto, Hinata's Neji, my father, Hisashi Hyuga, and Lady Hinata's father, Lord Hisashi Hyuga, were twins, but her father was born first to this world, a member of the main family, while my father, the second born, became a member of the branch family. That day, on her 3rd birthday, was the first time we had met. Neji recalled that day and how nice things seemed, even the how nice Hinata looked. He was wrong, however, as the day's events would start to go downhill from there. Neji, when the Hyuga first daughter turned 3, I was taken by Lord Hisashi and company and turned into a bird in the cage. Through this seal, nothing more than a member of the Hyuga branch family. Naruto, why is that necessary? Why do you need that mark to distinguish the main and branch families? Neji, this mark on my forehead is no mere decoration, I witnessed it firsthand that very day. My father explained to me that protecting Lady Hinata would be one of the duties that I would be taking from that day forth. As we sat in on a training session between her and Lord Hisashi, and her clumsy attempts at our style, my father became angry. Lord Hisashi could sense a slight king intent and activated my father's seal. It pained me to see him in such agony as his curse seal took effect. He was made an example and I was told to remember my place. This curse seal is the absolute fear of death given to the branch families by the main. With a simple hand seal, the branch member's mind can be easily destroyed. Death is just as easy, of course. That is the only time that this curse will disappear, sealing up the ability of the Byakugan along with it. Naruto, to go to all the trouble of that, then. Neji, the Hyuga is a clan that holds great advanced blood. Those that attempt to unlock its secrets are incalculable. With this jutsu, this seal, the branch family is allowed to live only to protect the main family, and there is no disobedience allowed. It is an effective system to eternally protect the advanced bloodline of the Hyuga, the Byakugan. Naruto, but I thought that Hinata couldn't use the Byakugan. What does this have to do with your hatred for her? Neji, true, she has the eyes of the Hyuga, but she is incapable of using them. This is the very reason for the Hyuga's outlook on the main family getting involved with outsiders. It is frowned upon for the rich bloodline of the Hyuga to be polluted by that of others, and yet, Lord Hisashi was made the exception. His wife was nice and kind on the day we met, but that's all in the past, a past that led to the birth of Lady Hinata and that incident. For unknown reasons, a face flashed in Naruto's mind, but he couldn't recognize who it was. Naruto, incident. What kind of incident? Neji, my father was killed by the main family. One night, Lady Hinata was killed by someone. Before he could escape, however, Lord Hisashi caught up and killed him. It was dark and the man wore a mask, but when it was removed, it was revealed to be the Cloud shinobi leader, who had just signed the alliance treaty. It became clear that his real intention was the secrets of the Hyuga. With one of their leaders killed in the failed plan, the Cloud Country made demands of the Leaf for breaking the alliance. Of course the Leaf and Cloud bickered back and forth, but with the Leaf wanting to avoid war, they came to a compromise. Naruto, they made a deal. Neji, The Cloud wanted the main family's advanced blood and the Byakugan. They demanded the corpse of Lord Hyashi, and the Leaf agreed to their terms. Naruto looked up into the stands at the Hyugas in shock. If they wanted Hyashi's, then who was the man that was sitting there looking at them? Hanabi, huh? But father is right here. Neji, and war was safely avoided, thanks to my father, who was killed in Lord Hyashi's place, by the main family. Hyashi, no, that isn't quite how it all happened, at least the part about how I defeated the Cloud Nin. I was merely given credit by those that didn't want it to get out that a Hyuga could not protect or rescue his own daughter. Neji tells his tragic tale to Naruto and anyone that will listen. Hyashi says that Neji doesn't have all the facts. Hyashi, with the rules bent for me to marry my wife and a Hyuga born with the inability to use our advanced bloodline as a result, I was forced to adhere to the elders' demands, looks over at a coughing Hinata. I no longer wanted the curse seals to be used but had no choice. They have only just recently lightened up because of the promise that Hanabi shows. Flashback. Cloud 2, so you got what we came for. Cloud 1, yeah, now it's time to get out of here. The three Cloud Nins were in a hurry to get out of the Leaf Village and back to theirs before they were found out. They were moving as fast as they could through the back alleys when they realized that they were being followed. Cloud 1, it appears as though the jig is up. Cloud 3, there's only one, should we eliminate him before we head for the village? Cloud 1, no, we should hurry. If we waste any time we may be discovered by many more, and that would spell an end to the mission, and our lives. The three picked up the pace but their pursuer was very persistent. So much so that he managed to cut him off quite a few times. Cloud 3, is there really only one? Cloud 2, there has to be more, there's no way that one person can keep on getting ahead of us every time we change our direction. Cloud 1, it would make sense, but there's only one and he's beginning to encircle us. With what he's doing, he must be trying to tire us out before he strikes. Cloud 3, then what are we gonna do? If we're too exhausted to fight back, then. Cloud 1, just follow my lead. The three made a break for it again and once more they were cut off. This time, instead of running in a different direction, they stood the ground. Cloud 1, hey, you. Don't do anything stupid or the girl SS. He pulled out a kunai and held it to the unconscious Hinata's tea. The other two became worried. If their pursuer didn't fall for the bluff, what would it spell for them? Cloud 1, if you don't want me to K her right here, right now, I suggest you show yourself. If you're any kind of hero, you'd take her place. Low growls could be heard louder and louder. In the distance of the pitch-black alleyway all the three Cloud Nins could make out was what appeared to be a white underbelly and four legs. Whatever it was, it had come to a halt before the three could get a good look at it. Cloud 2, what is that thing? Suddenly, a flash of red filled their sights and the creature pounced from the shadows. Cloud Nins, Cloud 3, what the hell is that thing? As their high-pitched screams filled the village, the three made a hasty retreat. Unfortunately for one, he could not move fast enough. He tried to jump to the rooftops but before he got off the ground he was blitzed by the beast. His comrades made it to the roof and saw a red flash as their comrades' screams rose, and fell. Cloud 2, what the hell? That thing was as big as a bear. Cloud 1, it's too late, besides, I'm not sticking around to become that thing's second course. The two remaining Cloud Nins quickly ran for their lives. It wasn't long before they found themselves face to face with the creature for a second time. Right in front of their eyes, the beast's appearance, once red, changed from all white to gold, taking the place of red and white. It planted its feet and what they believed to be a beam of light exploded from its mouth. The line of trees in an entire 1 kilometer area had been decimated. The two Cloud Nins had narrowly escaped with their lives, again. It was obvious that this thing, this creature, this monster wanted a mess. Cloud 1, crap, I dropped the kid. Hinata awoke on the ground near scorched earth. She looked up to see a golden-furred, blue-eyed animal with white legs and underbelly, and golden-colored toes. Its nose was black as well as the tip of its 9 long tails and the 2 tufts on its head. Though interesting, it had an intimidating look on its face as it rushed at Hinata. She heard footsteps coming from behind her that belonged to 2 men. She turned to see a stranger and the one that had knocked her out before. As the men and the beast barreled towards her, she realized that she was in a terrible predicament. As the men got closer, Hinata turned to get up and run away, but when she did, the beast was jumping over her head. The two cloud nins panicked and stopped in their tracks as the creature's paws began to glow with a golden light, but it was too late for one of them. One of the cloud nins shoved the other in the path of the creature and used his body as a shield. As the creature punched its glowing paw clear through the cloud nin's chest in one motion, the other cycled through a series of hand seals and touched the top of the creature's head. Cloud 1, take this. Light, Ning, rod. He cleared the creature and Hinata a great distance away and watched as the magic happened. Storm clouds began to form and lightning began to flash. The beast used one of its long tails to grab Hinata and toss her into some bushes just in time. The flashes of light in the cloud began to appear more rapidly by the second and the thunder started to rumble violently. Instantaneous was a lightning bolt as it struck. Hinata crawled out of the bushes to see a big crater where the beast once stood. When it threw her, she feared for her life, but seeing the destruction that occurred gave her some clarity into the creature's intention. Cloud 1, now that that piece of S is taken care of, what say you and me get going to my village, princess? When I return with you, I'll be a hero. I can retire and spend the rest of my life not worrying about anything ever again. I'll be treated like a king and I won't have to do the boring things like the rakeage. I'll do nothing but party with beautiful women and eat and drink until the end of my life. In earshot, the cloud nin heard a faint growl. He frantically searched for where it was coming from or if it was just the stress getting to him. Not too far from the princess appeared the creature from the brush with a flash of blue light and fur and black eyes. His sight was focused on the now terrified cloud nin. The search party strenuously did all they could to locate the missing princess. Led by Hiyashi and his wife, Hinamori, as she searched from the air. The sound of great destruction and an errant lightning bolt had attracted the attention of their party and drawn them in its direction. The beast stepped forward and the cloud nin turned to run, but as he did, there stood the creature ahead of him. He looked back over his shoulder to check if there was more than one and in the spot it once stood was scorched brush and earth. He couldn't help but fear for his life as he thought of what this thing had done to his comrades. The cloud nin withdrew some kunais and shurikens and let them fly. Hoping that this would distract the creature, or at least slow it down, the cloud nin ran for his life. The blue beast darted through the hail of ninja tools and in the blink of an eye, namely the cloud nin's, it was at his back. Cloud 1, she. In the distance a bright flash of blue filled the area. Hiyashi's wife was already in that direction, but seeing where it came from made him even more worrisome. He and the rest of the search party bolted to where the light had come from as fast as possible in hopes that Hinamori and anyone else unfortunate enough to be in the vicinity was all right. They arrived in time to see Hinamori standing and not moving. Hiyashi quickly rushed to her to ensure her well-being. He saw her staring into space and looked in the same direction that she was currently. What he saw shocked him. Hinata was now riding on the back of some unknown blue beast. Hiyashi figured that this creature was dangerous and rushed to the aid of his daughter, but he was stopped by his wife. Hiyashi, what are you doing, Hinamori? Hinamori, you shouldn't fight that creature, it's very dangerous, but it's also very gentle. Smiles. Hiyashi, what are you saying? Hinamori answered her husband's question by telling him what she saw. She had touched down when the cloud nin had hurled a shower of ninja tools at the beast. In an instant it was at his back. It glowed for about a second and all that could be seen was an explosive wave of hot blue light. As the wave came in contact with the cloud nin, he was instantly turned into ash. Hinamori thought the same would happen to her, but just as the light was right on her, it stopped and began to dissipate. Surprised that she wasn't Hinamori saw the creature walk over to Hinata who emerged from the bushes. Thinking that she would be turned into a snack, Hinamori released her powers and prepared to eliminate the beast, but she stopped when she witnessed Hinata pet it on its head as if it were a pet. It then licked her and used one of its tails to place her on its back. It was about to be off but now it was in a defensive position and viciously growling and snarling at the party. Hiyashi, it's good that she is here and alive, but she is not safe until she is saved from that creature. Hinamori, there's nothing to fear. The creature is merely protective of her. If we show it that we aren't a threat, I'm sure it will calm down and release her into our custody. Hiyashi, That thing is a vicious animal. How do we know that it doesn't intend to keep our precious daughter? I know you cherish all life like the rest of your clan, but. Third, you should listen to your wife, Hyashi. I know this creature very well, though, I do not get to see him in this form too often. The third Hokage and his and Hyashi's search parties all exited the bushes into plain sight of the beast. The third then made his way over and began to pet the beast on its head, causing it to purr and relax. Third, I don't usually see him in this form, but that of a little dragon, about this size, and petting him usually results in the same reaction. The rest tried to approach, but the second they did, the creature began to snarl and posture that it would a mistake to come any closer. All stopped but Hinamori. No matter how much the beast snorted, growled, snarled, or roared, she wouldn't stop smiling or approaching. Hinamori, I knew it. I know you. She finally stopped right in front of the creature and he turned from a vicious wild beast to a cute and cuddly, but still ferocious, pet. Hinata jumped down and hugged her mother, who in turn was licked by the beast. Hyashi made his way over to his girls, but the beast saw this and jumped in between. He finally gave up after Hinata patted him on his head and walked over to her father. Hyashi was elated to see that his daughter was safe and returned to him. As he and his wife lovingly embraced the daughter, Hyashi noticed the beast turn and sit right beside the Hokage, who in turn began to pull out kunais and shuriken lodged in its hide. Hyashi, you said you know this beast, but not particularly in this form, so, what is it? Third, well, he is definitely a wild child but no wild animal, a very interesting child nonetheless, though you may not have realized this yet, but you have been acquainted. Before their eyes the beast yawned and began to transform into another form, that of a boy, boy. Hinata could see everything and began to blush. Hyashi took the liberty of quickly covering her eyes, hoping that the nude blonde hadn't been etched into her young brain. Hinamori, oh my, small blush. Hyashi, that is Naruto Uzumaki. Hinamori, the child of the dragons, it's no surprise that he was so protective of Hinata, since she takes after me and my clan and his share a natural bond. Hyashi, he and my daughter get along well, but I was informed I know that this boy was born of a dragon and yet, he showed a completely different form. I had such high hopes for this child, but seeing that he is no mighty dragon, he should have nothing to do with my daughter. Third, he is still a dragon by blood, so I am sure that he will become a great shinobi. It's just that. Hyashi, it doesn't matter. It has been a long-standing tradition of Hinamori's clan that they associate with members of the dragon clan. Seeing that he is no true dragon, it isn't good enough. Hinamori, but my clan isn't a part of this village. I left them and all their beliefs and traditions to be with you. Besides, it should be up to Hinata to pick and choose who she associates with. I liked this boy before and all of this has made me realize that I like him even more. Hyashi, I will not have my daughter settle for this. It is only the best for her, though, I am curious about his previous form. I've never seen such a creature. Third, yes, it is quite impressive, because of this boy's heritage and that the creature appears to be a composite of different animals, I have chosen to call it, a, starbeast. Hyashi, why, starbeast? Third, because of his link to the two great clans that created him, the Namakazes of the Dragon Clan, of the Beast Warriors, and the Uzumakis of the Star Fighters. Hinamori, I like it. Hyashi, okay, but why is he some kind of mutation of different creatures instead of some kind of star dragon? Third, well, I believe that it has to do with his recent adventure in the forest. The animals there seem to have made quite an impression on him, that and the circumstance surrounding his birth, it may be having a direct effect on him already. Hyashi, that's another thing. If he only regresses because of that thing, then it would be best that Hinata stay away from him. It may be alright now, but in the future. Third, you have nothing to worry about, Lord Hyashi. I will personally see to it that this boy remains true to his gentle nature. Who knows, he may be one of the greatest shinobi that this village has ever produced. Naruto appeared to be very tired as he had been sleeping from the moment he returned to his normal form. Hinamori walked over and took Naruto in her arms. She then invited Hinata to come and observe what she would one day be capable of. A glowing ring of chakra appeared at her fingertips and she started to heal punctures and cuts and any other wound on his tiny frame as Hinata watched in awe. End of flashback. Hyashi noted that after this encounter, Hinata decided that she no longer wanted to be a pampered princess but a true shinobi. He always figured that it was to follow in her parents' footsteps, but in light of his recollection he realized that it must have been due to Naruto's influence. Hiashi, in the end, Hisashi did take my place, but not until after much bickering. If he had not offered to take my place, and I fought harder for him, he'd be here and I. Third, the Star Beast. I haven't seen Naruto take that form since then, but the fact that it was the mystery creature in his dreams the day that he began realizing his powers, could they be connected with his growth, or does it mean something more? Naruto, I think I remember having a dream or something like that. For a while I thought of that little girl with the weird hair as just a dream. Now that I think about it, for a while I thought that Sakura was the girl from my dreams with the weird hair. It was how I developed a crush on her. But then I got to know her and realized that she wasn't that girl, but I still liked her anyway, so my dream girl was really Hinata, but I didn't know that because shortly after that they moved away to another village. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.